Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Pete. This is where we talk about money, finances, where we give you information and education to help you make the best financial and investment decisions possible. Now, this channel is all about two things. The first, personal finance. The second, investing. And I talk a lot about investing here. Certainly for the last batch of my videos, it's all been investment themed pretty much. However, in order for you to invest with confidence and to really create wealth that is meaningful for the future, you have to have strong foundations. And when I say strong foundations, I'm alluding to the boring stuff that we all know about and you've heard me repeat over and over again through all of my videos, and that is tight money controls, i.e. budgeting. So with everything that's going on right now, I think it's only appropriate. We've been through a lot when it came to COVID. We thought we came out the back end of this, but now there are localized lockdowns, and Rishi Sunak has been on the news today to roll out new schemes to basically help save jobs. And this is something that for many people is going to be a huge worry. How do I keep the lights on? How do I make sure that I can still pay the rent, the mortgage? How can I make sure that there's food in the fridge for me and my family? So it's only right that we touch on here. And in this video, I want to talk about how to budget and save on any income here in the UK. And much like the video on Tuesday, I have got a downloadable which you can download for free. It will be linked in the description box. And hopefully it's going to be an eye-opener. It certainly helped me in my personal life. I introduced this into my personal life probably about 5 to 6 years ago after running a cycle of not really knowing what's going on. And there are lessons taken from clients that I've worked with as a financial advisor and things that I've observed from wealthy people that I know as well. And I started to question, why am I not doing the same? And when I really sat down to look at it, the numbers hit home for me, and I hope that they hit home for you as well. So I'm going to walk you through this guide. Again, it's going to be available for you to download. So without any further ado, let's go. Okay, so first question, first and foremost, when you hear the word budget, what automatically comes to your mind? Is it a positive thing or is it a negative thing? Because I have to be honest with you, for the longest time, when someone said the word budget, I automatically had negative connotations of the word, as in restrictive, boring, no fun, I can and can't do. And this is a really big psychological mindset piece, because how you perceive budgets is really a manifestation of your mindset and a manifestation of the behaviors that come off the back of your mindset. And this took a lot of time for me to change. It took an awful lot of time for me to change, but I finally got there and I finally kind of understood how we should be thinking about money. But because we're not taught this stuff in school, it becomes challenging for us to grasp as adults, because as adults, we grow up with beliefs, we grow up with habits, and it's very, very hard to break those habits. So this document right here is essentially an earnings take-home pay table. And the reason why this is one of the tools that I use personally that really rang true to me is that oftentimes we don't really pay attention to what we earn. And what I mean by that is the yearly number is often something that we pay attention to, right? It's often a point of pride. I earn £80,000 or £60,000 per year. And those numbers are important because if you go for a mortgage, it's your annual salary times 4 or 4.5, maybe 5, depending on what lenders you're going to. So the big number, the annual number, is something we all remember. However, when it comes to the monthly number, I believe that we don't all pay enough attention to that. So this table right here, and there are explanations of what this is and how you can actually use it, but this table right here is essentially a guide of how much you earn take home on an estimated basis, not factoring in pension contributions or benefit in kind. It's literally just a clean thing. And we go through ranges from 22,000 all the way to £50,000 per year. Now, for the purpose of this video, I'm going to go middle of the road and go £30,000 per year, because I think that's a good number, a good median number to aim at. And again, what I'm trying to do here is trying to get you guys to think. If you download this guide, if you download this aid, I'm going to give you a few challenges towards the end of this video in terms of things that I really want you to look at and things to really consider. So with this, you've got plans, you've got plan 1, 2, and 3. Now here on YouTube, there are lots of extrapolations of how you can budget. There's a 50, 30, 20 rule. There's lots of other options. And yes, plan 1 does follow that principle. So necessities, which will be your rent, your mortgage, your car, council tax, gas, electric, things that you have to pay for, 50% of your monthly take-home pay. Then we've got discretionary. So discretion will be the things that you like to do, right? So they will be, you want to go out with friends on a monthly basis. You want to go for meals, entertaining. It will be gym memberships. It will be all those things that are bundled up into your discretionary spend. And then there's a third pot, which will be savings. And I just want to say this. One of the things that I have found working with wealthy people is they all have 3 pots that they pay money into when they budget. 3. And this is something for the longest time that I never considered for my personal finances. I would earn money. I know that my necessities were this, and everything that was left over was just money for me to spend. There was no real goal, no real purpose in how I was funneling or channeling my money. And this is the one thing, again, mindset. A budget is designed to help you channel your money to the places that you want it to go in order for you to live your life now with fulfillment and also build for the future. Really, really key. And it took me a long time to get my head round to that stage or that kind of thinking and mentality. So that's really one thing that I want you to bear in mind. So on the first plan, we're looking at 20% in a savings bucket or fund. Plan 2 extrapolates that, because let's be honest, if you're living in London, then you're probably facing higher rents, higher living costs than most other places in the country. So you've got 60% for necessities, 20% discretionary, 20% savings. And on the third plan, we're going even further, 70% necessities, 20% discretionary, 10% spendings. Now, of course, you can flex anywhere between these, right? Some people maybe 65, 15, and 10 or 20. We don't know, wherever you are. But the point with this is not to necessarily match directly what you see in any of these 3 plans, but try to understand where you are, in which of these plan parameters do you currently fit. And we'll talk about the things that you can do a bit later on to help you move closer to something that looks a bit like what's on this sheet right here. So again, using £30,000 as the starting point. Your estimated take-home pay will be £1,995, so almost £2,000 per month. And then that's just assuming your necessities, so your rent, your mortgages, all the things you have to pay for, is only 50%. Then that means that your necessities every single month will cost you £997.50. Now, if you factor in that you've got a discretionary spend of 30%, that's £598.50 as a discretionary spend. That is your gym memberships, anything else that you like to pay for, and you having fun. That's quite a lot of money. And this is where the penny dropped for me when I did this in my personal finance. Because I started to think, hang on a second, so I'm spending near enough £700 a month, I think it was at the time, just for nothing else at all. Which means you still have some money left. And if that is the case for you, and you have an additional 20% into a savings fund, that's £399. Now, in my case, what I was doing, I was earning significantly more than this, but what was happening was I'll pay for my necessities and the rest of the money used to disappear. I could not tell you where that money went on a monthly basis, which is why this exercise was so pivotal for me in making a U-turn, in understanding how to funnel my money, how to push my money to the places that I wanted it to go. It was a real wake-up call to me, because regardless of how you look at it, between there's literally another £997.50 a month in this circumstance that if you don't have a plan, you can easily blow through on a monthly basis because you simply don't think about it. The whole idea of this document is to get you to think and draw up a plan. Now, I have to say that if you are looking at your savings spend, now your savings spend, if you're in the realm where you're listening to me here, will be for 2 purposes. And these go in steps. So the first step is an emergency fund. So creating an emergency fund. So if for you, your 6 month figure in this example will be around about £6,000. £400 going into an emergency fund every single year will help you start to build to that £6,000 figure. And I've done that just raising the approximating up £997.50 to 1,000 and timesing that by 6 as an emergency fund. You can times that by 3 if you wanted to and come to £3,000. But your savings should either go into an emergency fund first, and if you have an emergency fund, the second thing it should go into is potentially investing in the stock market, or perhaps saving for a deposit for your first home. So you can go into something like a LISA, for example. Okay, so that's where you would funnel the money to. Now, if you are on plan 2, for example, then that necessities at 60% goes to £1,197. If you keep discretionary at 20%, £399 for discretionary, £399 for a spending plan, for emergency funds, for investments, for a deposit for your first home. In plan 3, let's just say, your 70% necessities, then that still gives you £1,396.50 going towards your essential bills. Let's just say you keep the discretionary at 20% because you don't want to sacrifice too much. That's £399. Then your savings pot will still be £199.50. Do these numbers ring true to you? Because for me, when I did this exercise in my personal life, I was shocked at how much money I had falling through my fingers without really thinking about where it was going. Why? Because I never sat down to think of it or even look at it in this fashion. So where are you on this table? That's the big question and the big task for you to come to a conclusion on if you download this sheet. And yes, it is going to require a little bit of work from you. It's going to require you to sit down with your bank statements probably over the last 3 to 6 months, write all of your expenses out, categorize them. Categorize them into essential, non-essential, necessity, or not necessary. It's going to take that work for you. But doing that will mean that you'll get a clearer picture of what you've got coming in. Now, I've said this before. Wealthy people think with 3 buckets. And this is where the kicker is, and where I want to challenge you and give you a task to also complete if you're going to download this. Most wealthy people that I've worked with in the past, and most wealthy people that I know, that I've come across, who are friends, who are colleagues, always work on 3 buckets. So necessities, discretionary, savings, investing, emergency fund bucket. And almost every single one of them has a focus on reducing the necessities that they have to pay for. And they do that by making sure that they have very little debt. Car payments, credit card payments, personal loans, any debt like that they can shrink, that they can reduce, they make a conscious effort to ensure that they do that. It is one of the big foundations of being financially free. Little debt. You will never be financially free if you cannot control that part. Yes, investing and having other sources of income are also part of that. But there is no point in having 15 sources of income if for every single pound that you have coming in, you have 90p of everything going out because you've got so much debt all over the place. The idea is to bring in money and have less money leaving you on a monthly basis and as much left as possible. So every wealthy person that I know focuses on reducing that necessities pot as much as they possibly can. Now, things like mortgages, rent, council tax, things like that, you probably won't be able to negotiate or, kind of reduce over a period of time because they might be fixed. Certainly if you've got a mortgage, certainly if you're in with a landlord, you're renting somewhere, they're probably fixed. But your gas, your electric, you can negotiate on a year-to-year basis. But there is one thing that they also do. It's not just about reducing necessities. It's also about making sure that the money that they free up doesn't go into their discretionary spend, guys. It goes into their savings or investment pot. They like to redeploy that money and put it into something to build for the future, be that the stock market, be that property, be that businesses. They all of them, everyone that I've worked with, everyone that I know has a focus on that specifically. So that's going to be my challenge to you. Yes, find out where you are in the sheet in terms of where you fit in terms of the brackets, but also challenge yourself to see how you can reduce your outgoings as much as possible in order to free up money for you to take advantage of what's going on right now in this recession. Because guess what, guys? Things are on discount. If you want to build wealth for the future, if you're not doing it, trust me, the wealthy people of this world are doing it right now. They are investing. They are buying stocks. They are buying properties. If you don't get involved, you're going to miss this train. And if you're not in a position where you can get involved right now, know this. This is not the last recession we're going to see. There will be one after this one. There will be one after that one. The question is going to be, are you going to use this today to make sure that by the time the next recession rolls around, you are in the best position possible? Guys, let me know what you think. Where do you fit? And by the way, there is another page to this which I'm also going to include in the downloads. So feel free to download this as a bundle. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. So please let me know. What is your impression? What do you think of when you hear the word budget? Is it positive? Is it negative? Did you once think it was negative like me? Do you now see it as a positive thing? Let's have a discussion in the comments. Thank you so much for watching this video. Again, if you've not listened to the podcast is right there. Go check it out. It's available on Spotify, Apple, and Google. Until next time, have a great weekend. Catch you soon.